Wherever I work minimum for 6-7 years. Why? Because there is a career building process going forward. So question is, if I had got a degree from a very good institute, does it guarantee me a good career? কি উত্তর হবে? কি উত্তর হবে? Let us have interactions, ঠিক আছে? কি উত্তর? আমি একটা ভালো ইনস্টিটিউট থেকে পাস করেছি, very good, professors are very good, hands-on education has been delivered, very good lab access there. Does it guarantee a good career? কেন? Skills. Where is the skill vertical? That's why I'm telling skill, or do you mean that skill is required? Skill. So what is skill actually? Is it not at a lab bhalo kaaj koreche, good practical science on something has been done in the lab environment? Is it not skilling?
Yes.
Is it skilling? It is a practice. It is a good practice. Exactly. Ki naam?
Tomi Kumar.
Huh?
Tomi Kumar.
Tomi. It is a good practice. Good practice doesn't mean you have to be good skill. It is not always necessary for getting a skill. You should go to the skill institute. That's not necessary. But for building a career, you must ensure that you get skill. You can come to a skill institute, get a skill certificate, but skill certificate is a certificate ultimately. But you should get skill. To have a skilling, you must get a job which offers you an opportunity to get skill. Am I right? Let me pronounce that. You know, 3 idiots, that picture, what the dialogue? Success ke piche mat bhagna, then. So. That is a very important dialogue. So, first job of yours is to get skill, right? Not to build a career, because you'll be facing the real professional world in your job. But beyond your domain skills, many things will come. Communications, abilities, interactions, how to manage people, how to manage, work environment, how to manage a boss, how to manage customer, how to manage the process and discipline, regulations, guidelines. Many things will come forward which you have to learn. Then only you get skill. Okay? So I think first notion that should take out is that after you pass out, don't say that I'm actually going for the job. You say, I picked up a job, or I got an opportunity to get a job, while I'll get skill for minimum 3 years there. You'll be employed maybe, you'll get salary, etc. But minimum 3 years of getting skill, that kind of attitude will be required from your side. Nale, je background apnader ache, the kind of institute that you have got, if you just have this attitude in mind, I'm getting skill, then there will be a lot of, you can cross lot of hurdles very easily and cross all the hurdles very easily. You are bright students, but I have observed in my inner life that many students miss that very important line. That's why we say bridging the gap. That bridging the gap that you have got, that particular attitude is missing, which leads to either not getting a good quality job, or getting frustrated, or changing job frequently, going after one company to another, searching for a job, that particular goes on. Now with this small background, I'll request you to go to my second part. Second part is, how can you make a career? Many options that you have got. Being a student of, pharmacology background, I think clinical research is an area where you can make a very good career. Why? I'm happy that you have got Professor Arun Chatterjee too, who himself was a CRC for quite a period of time. He is an alumni of this institute and he was a CSC. You can ask him later on that, what kind of career we can make. So what I'll do, I'll have a small PowerPoint presentation to show you and explain to you that how to make a career, how it very well suits to your background. Pharma background students are very well suited to the clinical research organizations, CRO, SMO, then pharma companies. Because you will not get many jobs which is linked to your educational background. You don't get many, it's not easy to get a job. Lot of engineers are there, BTech students. How many students and BTech students apply their knowledge in their job? Not many, right? But definitely few. So from many to become few, you need that skilling and that kind of strong confidence. So confidence building is important. We can always teach you what is clinical research. We can always teach you. A class can be taken, professor can be teach. But will you give me confidence and say, look here, I know clinical research. Proudly say, if you do not hire me, you will be losing. I will not lose. I am very confident that I know clinical research, I can contribute. Whatever mandate you have got from a pharma company for ultimately approval from the DGCA, I am there, I know everything. If you don't take me, then you are losing. Don't be arrogant like that. You know, the attitude in your mind. The moment you bring that element of skill in you, what it tells you, look, I am not losing. By not getting a job, you are losing. To come to that level of transformation from this stage of yours to that stage is what actually skill development is. Whether you do the course or do not do the course. Whether you get into a job, be humble and get learning but then come to a level where you can bargain yourself, say, I am not losing, you are losing. Okay? So what I will tell you now from the context, how can you really come to the level after this particular stage where you can easily apply your knowledge that you want here for the career that you are going to do. So I'll just show you to make their presentations now. Now, see what industry is looking for. In clinical research, particularly, why it is now very important. Post-COVID, there is increased health consciousness. There is a lot of regulatory pressure. You know this story of Patanjali, right? Patanjali, you know. So Patanjali used to say clinically tested, clinically tested. The clinically tested word is quite of a news. So a lot of regulatory pressure, even forget about medicine, drugs and vaccine, even for cosmetics, even for something which is very important for human body, these are being enforced on the companies to have clinical research. So that this is human consumption or human use, it passes through that kind of regulatory framework or not. So post-COVID, because of increased consciousness, this kind of requirement the government has increased. Even there is a recent story that Allegra drug, Allegra medicines, many of us take, is 120, 180, two varieties are there, right? So that company was trying to have Allegra 220. Same, didn't get approval. If gone through the trial and even for existing drugs or any medicines, if you want to increase or change the efficiency, even change little composition also, little extra element to that. Nowadays, for everything, you say it is bio-oriented, like it is aloe vera drug, this kind of thing you say. For every component that you use, you have to go through testing. This kind of enforcement was not earlier. So, the moment this kind of enforcement are coming, there is a need for people who can actually support this kind of environment. So this is one. And any organization intending to do clinical research will seek skilled resource. The question is, if this is the requirement, earlier what is to happen, any vaccine that comes, any new medicine that comes, it was mandatory. Not many pharma companies are coming out with new drugs, new medicines, new vaccines. So requirement was a little bit of moderate. But now that a lot of pressure is there on the part of the government, and because of health consciousness, a lot of tweaking is being done. Same medicine, same thing, little bit of composition change they are doing and branding it and selling it. So that becomes a business venture. So that needs clinical research trials. So a lot of demand for that. There is a really gap and dearth of resources for the skill resources in clinical research. And as a result, many of the companies are looking for clinical research organizations. They are looking for CROs because if you see as I go forward and find out, the entire process of clinical research and trials starts with we call it the value chain. This value chain is very complicated, right from regulatory mandate for managing, protocol design, managing, developing a trial site, taking informed consent from the trial samples, monitoring, ensuring that nothing happens to the subject. Subject means I am a subject. I am a subject. So then managing the subject, report generation, monitoring, research, generating research report, following all the regulatory guidelines, protocols. Then that the ethics committee, they are then giving it to the, finding it to the pharma company who will push it to the regulator. Now, entire process pharma company can do. So they appoint a clinical research organizations. The CROs are over flooded with this kind of mandates. So CROs will require clinical associates. So that is the demand space that is available. Now, what are these particular course is about? So as a result, the moment you say if that is the requirement, how you develop this skill? I'm not talking about the course right now. The moment you say, I want to get trained in clinical research in central value chain, how to get trained? You need a process which will take care of entire all these elements. And unless you get engaged in the clinical trials during the process of training, you will not be able to know. Because in the classroom, this can always be taught. But if you have not seen a patient, you have not seen the actual protocol, you have seen the government mandate, you have not filled that those kind of forms and CRF forms, many things are there, then you will not be able to do that. So this entire process journey has been captured in a curriculum called the Clinical Research Associate Curriculum. And this curriculum has been co-developed with Life Science Sector Skill Council of Government of India. Because Life Science Sector Council of Government of India has got a mandate to ensure that the industry gets adequate skill resources so that this process becomes smooth and very well taken. So this curriculum has been devised jointly by Neotia Skill Development Academy and one of our very reputed partner, Dr. Subrajyoti Bhomik from PRS Hospital. He is a globally acknowledged person. He is a WHO person on the clinical trials and research. I'll try to have one interaction with you people later on as we go forward. And InfoClean, there is one big CRO based in Kolkata. These three people together has developed this entire curriculum so that it serves the industry requirement. That is the most important part of it. If you design a curriculum which designed by the industry and approved by the regulatory authority, then it will deliver will take place actually. So we thought, let us not follow a standard curriculum that is being developed. Let it be developed by the industry partners so that the moment they are trained on each of these elements, the people that come out, they are really qualified to address that requirement. So that is where this particular program is beneficial. So it covers the entire value chain that I have indicated, and as I said, there are two elements to this entire process. There is a classroom training, there is a field work. Not into internship comes later. This is a 1 year program, 6 months of training, 6 months of internship, paid internship. And that internship leads to your final job. Now during this first 6 months itself, students are given opportunity to do field work. Why? Because our requirement? No. We always as an institute, right? One that you go to industry, visit the site, do some field work. It is a reverse. It is a industry requirement. Since you have already covered 3 months, why don't you send them for 3 to 4 hours a day? They will do the field work at actual sites, and then you actually have the classes. So what we normally do, after 3 months of classroom training, when the curriculum is not yet over, we send them to the field. They work for 4 hours in the field, come back to the campus, then continue for 3 hours for the training. Then it becomes up to 7 hours of work. So that way, because of industry demand, they are actually doing that field work is not a paid field work. But then it's something, you have got a lab here, you are working in the lab. But if the moment we say you go to pharma company to work in the lab, it makes hell and heaven difference, right? Because your work will be utilized by them for any of the clinical mandate that company is taking. So field work is a unique part of it where you really get, I told you, bridging the gap. So the moment they say, you come and you go to the PG hospital, go to the oncology department and support the doctor. How good that would be? You have to complete only 3 months out of 12 months, and the company says, you come, join me. Doctor says, they are the principal investigators. Doctor says, I am overburdened, you can support me. I said, okay, after 4 hours, good enough 4 hours is okay for me. You see, you do. You have not taught, only 50% of the curriculum have been taught, but you have been called there. And if the doctor stays after 2 months, এই ছেলেটিকে বা এই মেয়েটিকে কিন্তু আমি চাই ইন্টার্নশিপে। ভাই তুমি কিন্তু ওকে কিন্তু অন্য কোথাও দেবে না, একে আমি চাই। Is it not good? That is why I told you earlier that develop a skill where you can say, if you don't take me, you will be losing. I am not losing. I'll get something else, You will be losing. To come to that level, this kind of ecosystem has been developed. So it becomes, and then obviously it is a very project intensive. I'll tell you how the project is. Even during the theory classes, we get actual protocols. The protocol design is a very important part because protocol you understand, when you get a mandate, entire protocol is designed, entire research takes place as per protocol. This protocol has to be approved by the DGC. But protocol design you are getting. You get whatever protocol they have to design, that are taught in the classroom. Your design will not be accepted, but you are involved in the live protocol design. You are involved in the ethics committee. When the ethics committee takes place, you join remotely in the ethics committee. So you will be involved in the projects which are live projects during the 6 months of training. And obviously, these are delivered by whom? These are delivered by doctors. Doctors and clinicians who are day-to-day basis working in clinical research. It is not delivered by anybody else. Only doctors who are doing clinical research either in a medical college or in a hospital. Dr. Homik himself is the program director for this particular program. Even Shokosachi Banerjee, who is very close to this institute, he InfoClean, who have got an agreement with them, he also takes classes. But InfoClean director takes the classes, who has got 350 sites in Eastern India. It was 200, now he has got 350 sites. Can you imagine what kind of demand he has posed on us? But learning it can take place. And he takes classes. So, then they say, look here, I've been trained by Shokosachi, Dr. Homik, or Dr. Shomurai, Dr. Somini Chakraborty. If you don't take me, you will do it. So I'm repeating that word repeatedly. So that is how the entire program is built in. I'll tell you what actually you learn. A little bit I will go through, that you can understand actually the entire coverage that type of program that we have. I'll go through quickly. As I said, it will be covering the entire value chain that I indicated right now. That is thorough understanding of informed consent, impact on quality assurance, and auditing clinical research. Because that is a very important issue. You do something, you will be audited, then your reports will go. Informed consent is very important. If you take me as a sample, taking informed consent, আপনার উপরে একটু রিসার্চ চালাবো, এই করবো, সেই করবো, একটা মেডিসিন দেবো, কি বলবে? বলবে আমার তো চালাবেন, একই কথা, আমার যদি কিছু হয়ে যায়, ইজি জব না। If your job is to find out, pick up a person from Kolkata area and say, Dada, আপনার উপরে একটা এক্সপেরিমেন্ট চালাবো। Easy? যদি করতে পারো কি হবে? That's a skill. So that informed consent process, এমনি মনে হয় কি informed consent ঠিক আছে ভাই একটু রাজি করলাম আমি কাগজে সই করলাম, নো, দ্যাট ইজ সিম্পল লাস্ট মাইল কাগজে সই করানো। ফার্স্ট মাইলটা কি ওকে বোঝানো, এই যে বোঝানোর প্রসেসটা আমাদের প্রায় 10 ঘন্টা ক্লাস হয় এই ইনফর্ম কনসেপ্টের উপরে বোঝানোর ব্যাপারটা। এরপরে যদি কোনো ক্ষতি হয় তাহলে অ্যাড্রেস করতে হবে, তাও অ্যাড্রেস করা হয়। উই হ্যাভ গট এ ক্লাস অন সফট স্কিল, এভরি উইকে 4 ঘন্টা করে ক্লাস হয় সফট স্কিল, এই যে কমিউনিকেশন কীভাবে কথা বলবো। সো ইনফর্ম কনসেপ্ট দিস ইজ এ ভেরি বিগ এরিয়া, যেখানে নাকি বললাম যে আমাকে না নিলে আপনার ক্ষতি হবে, দ্যাট ইজ ওয়ান অফ দ্য ইম্পর্টেন্ট। You will be monitoring entire clinical trial process, right from effectiveness, safety, everything, and you have to ultimately design the report and documentation you will be doing. As I said, trial protocols development is a very, very important area of this entire particular curriculum. Data is very important. In fact, I was discussing with Guru Chatterjee, pharmacovigilance. And Wipro is one of the biggest guests. But why? Wipro is an IT company, right? Data is very important. We have got a module on data analytics in the clinical research. Because if you have got a sample of say 100 patients and you go through 3 months of trial, how many data points should be there? And if it is oncology, there will be image data, right? There will be image data oncology. And will be put to this kind of trial size. Can you imagine how many data will be there? Any research without data, can it take place? It can take place. So data becomes important. So data analysis, using, even we use how to use AI in this data analysis, even in clinical research. Small ideas, small company. Excel, you will be doing a lot of work on the Excel data points. How can you apply AI in Excel so that this analytics for this data can be easily done? So that is one of the important areas that is covered. Then ethics committee, you will not be part of ethics committee. Ethics committee